Alright, good morning from the Gray Hollow. Welcome to Lowe's, Savannah, Tennessee. We're going to discuss today in my beginning series of how-tos videos. We're going to look at lumber selection as first thing for your building needs for your chinchillas. First thing we're going to look at is your kiln-dried pine. Kiln-dried pine is available here at Lowe's. If you stick with the Top Choice brand at Lowe's, even if it's not marked, it will be considered a kiln-dried, heat-treated product. When you're looking other than the Top Choice brand, you'll be looking for a mark that's on most of the wood, particularly the bigger pieces, that looks like that. You'll be looking for a KD on that, and then the initials, and this one I have an HT as well. The HT stands for heat treated and doesn't involve any chemical processes. It's a process of kiln drying it or heating it for a longer period of time at a higher temperature, and it's a international commerce device or international commerce requirement that requires it to be heat treated for international shipping if it's used in a crate. So most all lumber these days will have that heat treated designation. And as I say, there's no chemicals involved in that. It's just a little bit longer time at a higher temperature. So first lumber we're going to look at here is going to be things that you would need to build a shelf. Of course, you're going to pick what they call a 1x6. It's actually not quite 6 inches. It's more like 5.5 inches along this way, and it's 3/4 along that way. You'll need one of those. This particular one is 6 foot. You can get them longer, you can get them a little shorter, but we'll use this one. The price on this little board will run you about $6.26 for the 6 foot 1x6 here at the Lowe's. You'll also need a nice straight 1x2, same thing, 1.5 inches, 3/4. You're going to need some of those to build your shelves. Those priced here at the Lowe's are $2.38. So between the two boards, you've got roughly $10 in 6 foot of lumber. Once you've selected you some nice boards with a good clear grain, not a lot of knots, not a lot of splits, clean edges, take your time, look through them, they don't care, they'll help you sometimes. You can ask a Lowe's associate to cut these to you. They have a saw that will cut them to whatever you want. Just have your boards cut the same size into whatever it is shelves you're wanting to build. And once you've done that, you'll need to go and find you some wood glue, which I just use a regular Elmer's non-toxic wood glue, not the Elmer's Max. That's got something in it that probably wouldn't be good, but just a regular everyday Elmer's wood glue. And they're available in different sizes. This is a smaller one. They have them on up to 55-gallon drums if you get industrious. Next, we'll look at stuff that you would use as far as other types or for other things that you could do, poop guards for instance. So we're going to move over to the other section. Okay, we moved over to the other section just across the aisle from where we was. This is your poplar that they have at the Lowe's. It's a little more expensive. It is sanded smooth, a lot smoother than some of the pine will be, and it's in some smaller dimensions as well, as far as a 1/2 inch, 1/4 inch, or whatnot, in shorter lengths, and they're all down along the floor. So if you choose to go with poplar, you do get a little bit of a longer lasting product, because it is a hardwood and it's a little more durable, but it is a little more expensive, so there's a trade-off there. And next to it is some more of your kiln-dried pine. This would be the select grade. It's going to run a little more expensive, but could do better for you, particularly people with a Ferret Nation cage and Critter Nations, and once it's got the pan in the bottom as opposed to the wire in the bottom, for building your poop guards. The reason being, you got a thinner piece of wood that will set atop that little edge on that pan and not protrude out into the pan quite as bad. These can be used for that purpose. The particular type is located with the select choice pine, and down toward the floor. They come in several different lengths, and we'll trim them up to suit your needs as well. And we'll go over some of that when we talk about building the various types of shelves or poop guards in other videos. Okay, one last thing while you're at the Lowe's, after you've done your lumber selection, you've got what you need, and you're got it all cut, and you're happy and you're ready to build shelves, got your glue, you're going to need hardware. You've got to have something to put it on the cage with. By and large, most people, at least the ones that you buy shelves from, are going to seed your shelves with what's called hanger bolts. And you can't see it real good, and I'll show it to you a little better when we get to the video about actually building them. But they come in a little pack at the Lowe's, or you can get them in a home center loose. Sometimes they're a little cheaper. Little packs got 2 in it, and they'll run about $1.26 for the 2 hanger bolts here at the Lowe's. But a hanger bolt's got a thread on one end to go into the wood, and it's got another thread on the other end to be able to put a nut or a bolt on. You'll notice this one is the side for the wood, that's the side for your nut. You'll need some of those depending on how many shelves you're building. Lowe's don't have many kind of bulk. Some of your home centers, your small lumber sheds will have them in more than 2 pieces, and it'll be a little cheaper that way. You'll also need wing nuts. Wing nuts are just exactly that, a little nut with wings on them. These also are about $1.26 for 2 of them. Lowe's does carry them in a larger quantity, makes them a little cheaper, and once again you can find them at a local lumber shed. You'll also need washers, depending on the number of washers, depending on the number of shelves you're going to do. The washers do come at Lowe's in a bigger pack. They're around $6.58. Or in the drawers below all that, they do have washers in smaller quantities of the size you'll need. They run about $1.18 a pack. I think there's 5 in that little pack. Nope, 4 for $1.18. As far as poop guards on the bottom, other the things that you're going to try and put that you don't have a lot of thickness to, and you're going to put something to hold it, you'd use a carriage bolt. I'm going to show you a nice big carriage bolt. It's not what you're going to need, but it's going to be easier to see what we're talking about. A nice rounded head on it. It's got a little square piece that's going to pull into your wood, help it secure itself, and it's threaded. You need a small one, maybe 1.25 inches or so. They're way down there, so we'll just have to walk down there later. But you're looking for about 1.25 inches, 1.5 carriage bolt on about a 1/4 inch shank. Now, I'm going to make not document, but a lettering or a guide you can go by, draw it out, fix it up so you can compare sizes and get a visual of what you're looking for, and maybe even print it off and carry it to the local Lowe's or home center and point. Say, I need this, and then you'll be good. But that's your basic requirements for mounting your shelves or poop guards would be the hardware that I've shown you. You can, on shelves, sometimes use a regular drywall type screw or a construction decking type screw, and washers as well. And it's just a little more difficult to get them in the shelf. They're a little easier to install as far as using a drill or whatnot than getting the hanger bolts done, but I can show you how to do the hanger bolts, and it won't be too bad either. So we'll do that when we get to the building part. Well, we'll get our lumber down here before long. We'll get you another video on how to actually build your shelves or poop guards. Until then, have a nice day from the Gray Home.